Just wondering.
Yeah, so they're gonna attempt to repair it, but after this took it off. The county team's already looked at it and all of it was fried, so.
You know, if Lauren's coming tonight,
She cannot be. Okay.
I knew Nikki
And I
wasn't
don't know
gonna be
about
able to be here.
Brianna. She's coming.
I don't know.
I didn't hear from her.
I know Renee's not able to make it.
Is the ice out on your property yet?
What's that?
Is the ice out on your property yet?
Hadn't been up there and
I didn't know if you had a camera up there or anything.
not a camera up over by there, but 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
it was, I mean, it was there, but it was still thin.
Mhm.
I mean, it was, but the lake is down over 3 feet because of no
Oh,
rain
I
and
suppose-
snow.
Yeah. What lake are you on there?
We're on Bass Lake up by
Great.
Summit Lake,
Is it Greater Bass?
Greater Bass.
Matt Moss bought a property up there like probably 5 years ago.
Really?
He did.
Yeah, I'm in Greater Bass. Yeah, just right next to Summit Lake.
Also, I used to swim in Summit Lake when I was a kid. My grandpa had a place in Elko,
Oh, yeah?
so we were up there on Enterprise Lake all the time.
Yep. Yeah. Nice.
Good memories.
Mhm.
My brother-in-law lived in Eagle River. He attempted to go ice fishing on Sunday.
Hmm.
It's like the last time he was going.
I heard that there's still some good ice up there.
Some, but
Yeah.
the shoreline's starting to
Right.
Right.
Starting to pull away.
pull away. All right, we got lots to cover tonight, so let's go ahead and get started. It is 6 o'clock. I will officially call this meeting to order. Up on the agenda first is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we should pull up the meeting, huh?
We can do a quick roll call if everybody wants to introduce themselves.
Start.
I'm
You're
Chris
gonna say-
Jenkins, the village administrator.
Wally Hill, resident of the village.
Natalie Egbert.
Jamie Herberson.
Trevor Carey, Fredonia Fire Department.
Dan Gerke.
Tiffany Bartz, whoops, I'm not writing my name right. Tiffany Bartz, what am I?
You're
Trustee,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm here.
What do I do here?
I don't
You're
remember.
also the chairperson.
I'm trying to remember what I'm doing today. so.
Mhm, mhm.
All right, next up is the consent agenda. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes from our January 25th, 2024 subcommittee meeting. I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, next is public comments, limited to 5 minutes per person for items that are not on the agenda. Michelle had mentioned that there was a lady that was going to be stopping by tonight in regards to this, but didn't heard anything? No, okay,
I know nothing.
okay.
I think I saw somebody in the park. Was that you that was in the parking lot when I came? in?
No, I had my mom.
She
drop
came
this
from the
off.
back.
Oh, I was gonna-
No, I had my mom meet me here because I left work late, so
Oh.
I literally pulled in just to get this, and then I flew in here. So no, it wasn't me.
I was gonna say somebody was here in the parking lot, so I don't know, maybe she's still coming.
Well, if she pops in, then we'll
Hello.
go with it.
Yep.
All right, so items for discussion and or action tonight. There's quite a few things on here. I want to touch base on a couple of them and maybe try and get some volunteers to maybe kind of take charge of these items. First is fundraising. So we had met with the Friends of Fredonia a couple weeks ago, I guess it was already now, and have kind of talked a little bit about fundraising and what the village is going to do for the fireworks and all of that. There's obviously still a lot of stuff that needs to get paid for by different fundraising. So I wanted to talk about what we think about fundraising for some of the stuff that we've got going on, and how we want to handle that going forward.
Do we have a budget of what we need to raise yet?
We did, yes.
That was a few meetings ago, wasn't it?
It was a few meetings ago.
should always prefer all of it.
Don't lose this book. We're in trouble if we do. All right, so we've got, do you have your- a calculator handy? Turn this on.
That should,
All right, 3,050. That's total for music. Bounce houses, we've got 235, 495, and 145. Tent rental, we're approximately at 4,000. $100 for the time capsule. 225 for the dunk tank.
Yeah.
8,250.
Okay.
Not terrible.
And then we have 12 grand, was it for fireworks? Is that what we're budgeting? So I need to get in touch with them and let them know that for sure, right?
Item G.
Yes, I see that. Yep, I'm going to make a note though, so I remember to call them tomorrow.
this is a good time to talk about some sort of commemorative souvenir
We can, if you like.
that's tied to fundraising.
It's kind of fundraising. So we had pulled together, Chris had sent me a list of items that we thought we could do for commemorative fundraising. I went ahead and pulled a bunch more items. This is kind of what I do for a living. So just threw some items out here that I think might be, the public might actually be interested in purchasing. I think we have to be cautious because it is a village of Fredonia. It's not as exciting as the fire department.
What are you looking at me for?
You're very excited.
Because we have to live up to your party.
Yeah,
Uh,
good luck. Good luck. Just kidding, just kidding.
And that's why you're here, Trevor.
Yeah.
So the first one, this can be laser engraved. It's a keychain bottle opener. Thought it could be something a little fun. This would not be for fundraising, but I thought it might be nice for the night out for beverages to have Village of Fredonia cups.
That'll be
You can
kind
get those for pretty reasonable. We were talking a little bit more of like the commemorative stuff, things that people would want to keep for a long time. So looking at maybe some tumblers, these are in the 25-ish dollar range. We can imprint or laser engrave on them. They can come in different colors, things like that, different sizes. This one's an 18 ounce, but there's a lot of different options, kind of along the lines of a Yeti or Stanley or whatever.
Mhm.
This is a different keychain bottle opener. This one be laser engraved, a little bit more high end, kind of stainless steel looking piece. Fun things, can koozies, depending on the type of beverages that we end up doing. If it's can, I think this would be a huge hit and a huge sale the night of. I also don't think this is the worst thing to sell at any of the events that the village is having this summer, the music in the series park, things like that. I think that would be a great thing that could raise some funds. A carabiner bottle opener, magnet chip clips, things like that, trinkets, custom magnets. I thought could be a little fun one, maybe not as like a selling item, but maybe as like a giveaway. And maybe that comes in the, maybe we save that one for the mud run. We do something like that. A couple different can koozies. This one is more for.
See if there's someone still in the parking lot.
The, what do you drink? The tall drinks?
Carbless.
Yes, carbless and White Claw, things like that. This is another cup. There are also like actual plastic color changing cups that are kind of cool. So when you fill them, they change colors, and then it would be a keepsake that you can take home. This is a just a keychain that has this dome on here. It's kind of a neat piece. We sell these at work often. Just something a little extra. More Stanley type drinkware. Another fun thing is a frisbee, maybe along with the can koozies, something we could sell at all the events this summer.
I went to one parade and they were flinging out the Krispies and it was a huge hit to the kids. Like, I mean, it was just fun. It was like, whoa, this is cool. Like the kids went crazy over them.
Port State Bank supplied frisbees for the mud run this summer, and we had chucked them in the field, in the soccer field there, and the kids loved it. They were all running around playing. These are a couple different types of coffee mugs that I had found, something that's just a little bit different than your standard white coffee cup. I'm a coffee cup snob, so I have lots of them in my house.
And you use the same three, right?
No, I use all of them. I tried to do the coffee cup draft and get rid of some, and I
Right.
can't get rid of any. So I use all of them. Going along the lines of what Chris had shared with me at one point, like a pint glass or even like a nice beer stein, I think could be fun. You can laser engrave, you can imprint on them. These glasses are huge. I actually have these in my house, and these are a huge hit. Everybody loves them. It's a new, yeah.
We have a bunch. Of cricket.
And then mason jar cups, which are always fun and exciting. Everybody loves a good mason jar to drink out of in the summertime.
So where you work, you're able to do like that kind of stuff?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, we're a distributor of and specialty industries. So we work with all the we call them trinkets and trash, but you know, the kind of giveaway stuff and apparel and all that kind of stuff. So so I was able to pull this stuff together. We can definitely work through.
WPP.
Yes. thank
Yeah,
you,
Michelle,
WPP. Michelle.
WPP.
I don't, it was either Michelle or Melissa, I couldn't remember. We can work through her and, you know, share some of these ideas with her and help with this as well, so.
I know there's also a new engraving place in Cedar Grove that just opened too.
Is there?
Like we were talking about those Yeti cups. Some young guy.
Anybody love or hate any of these ideas? Anything we can kill off right away?
If we do the serving of the beverages and cups, I think those are cool. I think that's really neat, and it's an inexpensive way to do something, like you said, and use them year round.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say, the other thing that we could do is, you know, we could probably draw attention to the fact that we do have a Village of Fredonia store, right? I mean, that people can buy sweatshirts and things like that too. If we just have all this stuff kind of there, you know, like some samples of things, you don't have to have a ton of them there or whatever, but something for fundraising, you know, that you can still fundraise off of. Even maybe if it's not the night out, people say, oh yeah, I'd love one of these type things. So just a thought.
Do you have a certain amount of those steins made ahead of time and do an upsell with
Mhm.
the alcohol? Right.
For sure.
Those are glass though.
These are, this one is a throwaway plastic.
Pint glasses and the mason jars, I would stay away from selling them
Yeah.
at the bar.
Mhm.
Glass and
Somebody
Just-
whacked upside the
yeah,
head with it.
they're just
Right.
so.
If
They're lovely.
by going down that route, even with the plastic, you know, with you know, the 150th or something on that is a good thing. Also, maybe think of like a higher end, like larger one that it's you know, if you buy it,
Mhm.
then refillable. You know how they do that at the
Yeah.
with those.
Like
you
at the
do,
water parks
right, you do something like that because
and they're plastic.
right, like I have, you know, instead of you know, I like that clear plastic just as ones, but those aren't going to be, people aren't going to buy them.
No,
Right.
no.
And
that would
to
be
be honest with you, they're throwaways. I mean, unless they're going to be the same amount. A lot of times, the plastic cups you get with from the beer distributor, they're thrown in.
Mhm.
So, you know, it's depending on the cost of it.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't know how many you know
Mhm.
people are going to be looking at me like, oh hey.
Right.
We always
Now
buy
there'll be people
koozies.
that will take them home.
Yeah, fair.
We always buy koozies anytime we go to something Lions Fest or whatever. We always, I know Jason buys koozies all the time.
So you have a drawer full of them at home like I do?
A little basket actually now. I don't know. We've kind of downsized. We've downsized a lot of stuff. So koozies, yeah, we have just a small basket of them now. And I think we usually keep them in the car too.
Mhm.
There's usually one
But I
sitting
like
around
the
in my
ones that
purse.
are I like the thinner ones, but I don't drink any of this stuff anyway.
I mean, they are nice for bottles too, the tall thin ones for those kinds of cups are nice for bottles. but- Any other thoughts?
And my only thought is tumblers are so so
Everywhere.
overblown.
Mhm,
People are throwing them away because people get them from so many different places.
mhm.
That's one of those that you recycle. All of a sudden, you go through, and be like, okay, I haven't used this, so
Yeah,
I think it's definitely good options,
Mhm.
you know, and good things that we've put together.
I mean, I can go back and pull together some additional ideas if we have a,
Mhm.
you know, a road that we kind of want to go down.
Are those like cup holders, are they relatively like inexpensive, like these ones?
Yeah.
So is like the Fredonia walking in the parade, like are they gonna have a float at all in the parade like they did Flight Day?
Yeah.
Cause I know, I mean, you go to some parades and stuff and they hand those out, is that an option? And then, oh, look what I got, and then they go and buy one from the beer stand.
I mean, it's always a possibility,
Mhm.
for sure.
Or the Postmates.
Maybe
know
the
we
Friends of
always
Fredonia
find-
walk in the parade and hand them out.
There you go.
Even though we always say we're gonna keep them in the car, we always end up not having them in there. We always find
Yeah.
out
You always
every
need 'em,
event.
yeah.
We always need them. I always try to
For
bring
sure.
my, like my hard one. And I never remember to bring that one either.
That's a good idea. too,
Like the hard
hard-side
ones?
koozie.
Yeah, the hard side ones are,
Those are so nice. So I think I
And
can put
depending
like
which-
some of my juices in some of those.
yeah, depending on the hard ones, they've got all different adapter caps that
Mhm.
can do the skinny ones
Or the
to
regular beer
bottles,
can, bottle, yeah.
to cans, stuff like that.
Mhm.
That might be an interesting,
Jason keeps the hard one in his golf bag.
I think adding, you know, coffee cups to the village store wouldn't be a bad
Yeah,
idea.
I think it'd be cool.
You
I mean,
know.
I'd buy one.
Even some of the tumblers too, if you go with the Yeti or whatever. And then maybe.
Promote those cups at, you know, when you have coffee at. with the village.
There you go.
I love it.
Little for sale sign. What do we think about the canned glass?
I'm not drawn to it either way.
No.
I'm not,
I don't have matching glasses in my house, so.
yeah.
We don't
literally.
I don't
either, we have
either,
some
no.
pub glasses.
I've
Yeah.
got those, I got the mason jars, I got pints, I've
Yeah,
got,
oh, yeah.
depends on what brewery we were at one night. Oh, hey, look, how'd this get home?
That never happens.
Never.
It's funny, I'm thinking about my cabinet right now. I'm like, yeah, I think we've got like one of everything.
Yeah.
And they gave those out when we had dinner at Pillars. We were celebrating something. We got a deck of cards and
Hmm.
a pub glass.
Glasses from my grandparents' house from 1972.
Nice.
It's a wide variety. Okay, any other thoughts on giveaways or anything else we want to maybe take a look at?
I think that's a good start, and I think then we just continue to narrow it down. I mean, is there a deadline that we need to order the stuff by, or is it kind of?
I think let's get with Michelle and see what she
Yep,
would
yep,
do.
right in here. You need another chair?
Did you start at 6?
We did.
Oh, I thought it was 6:30. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
That's
okay.
okay.
We're grabbing another chair for you.
I'm going first thing at random lake with my mother's family. We've all been doing
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
More the merrier.
There you go. You get the nice comfy one.
it. That's what I mean.
We were just talking about fundraising and some different trinkets and things that we can possibly sell or give away at the 150th. So we can look at some coffee cup options and send some to Michelle and see what she would need to do.
Mhm.
Tumblers, yay.
I
nay?
love tumblers. I mean,
A nice
like
tumbler.
coffee tumblers that we're talking about,
Could be whatever.
like Yetis, like hot beverage. Heck yeah, take that everywhere.
I have like 3 in the house that I fill up every morning. And
Mhm.
you'll find them throughout the house
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Right. I normally have one in my truck and one here and then one somewhere else. And Yep.
They're all over the place. And Jason's like, what? Why are these everywhere? I'm like,
Tiffany, are you thinking for selling these to be a main fundraising portion to cover a lot of these costs, like a main thing, or is this kind of just an additional?
I think this would be an additional. I don't know that we could
Yeah.
utilize this to be a main thing.
Right, okay,
Just an added bonus maybe.
right. Because, I mean, one of our biggest, for the fire department 100th, our, say, pray, our biggest money raising generator was the ad book. that we did that was able to do, and it's a lot of work, but that's where I'd probably say probably I want to say $18,000 was raised just on that ad book. It's a lot more than we were expecting.
What was that?
It's an ad book that, I
Like
mean, that it's, so for the fire department book, what we did was it had a lot of information from also the history,
Okay.
100 years of
Yeah.
history in there,
Yes.
but it had all of the current members, active members, honorary
Oh, that's
members, and then we went to all the businesses with a letter type of
Yes,
thing,
yes.
and they can buy, you know,
A half sheet. a
quarter,
cover
half,
sheet.
full cover, stuff like that.
Okay.
That was, and then we did, you know, for large donors we had banners that had their company names on it. They wanted to do that, so they're hanging in the station. So, that brought in more than we were expecting.
That's good.
So then you guys probably still have a box price sitting back here, because we were selling them here too, because people bought it and then we sold them for $10 to the general public.
Mhm.
Because it's a piece of history type of thing.
Mhm.
So we still have extras. If anybody wants to buy them.
He's still in.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here, because I'm concerned about the history of Fredonia, and I hadn't seen anything, and I'd like to see a booklet about Fredonia. And I have pictures, Kevin Wester has pictures. There's a Wisconsin Historical Society has postcards of Fredonia from way long back. I also have a book that was written in 1915 by somebody named John Hunt. And he wrote about the people that were living in Fredonia in 1915. And I also have the historical pages from, I don't know if it was the 75th anniversary of Fredonia. Do you have that book?
We have the book now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That has history. Somebody went around to all the business places and
Mhm.
asked for some information.
Yeah. Yep, there's some cool events that they did back then and stuff too, so. Yeah, we need to incorporate some of that.
Mhm. For sure.
So I have copies of those things if you want to make copies.
Yeah. So we need to put something together.
Yeah. The other one to talk to, I think that's got a lot of history, is Kim Steffen. He's got a lot of stuff on the village as well. A lot of pictures and all of that. Maybe let's put that on for our next meeting to maybe talk a little bit more in depth about and how
Mhm.
we want to go about doing that.
Yeah, this is gonna come up sooner than you think.
Mhm.
It's already March.
Once you get going, it comes quick.
Yeah, I feel good, but
Yeah.
there's still a bunch of stuff more to do, so.
Mhm.
Once you had everything together, how long did it take them to print that out?
Oh, the book?
Do
Yeah.
you have a new date for the,
The 150th is gonna be on June 29th of
oh, it's
this year.
still June 29th?
Yes.
To put the book together, we had a deadline for the ads type of thing and that, but once it went through
To print.
proof and print was 2 weeks. So it didn't take that long, and we did it through, what's it now? They changed up
The
in
old
random.
times.
What's that?
Sheridan.
Yeah, sure, yeah, right. Unfortunately, they don't print up there, but their company did, so they did it in their Philadelphia or their Pittsburgh or their Pennsylvania location or something like that, and then shipped it over here because it's a different.
Did they do all the compilation of it and everything, putting everything together and laying out the pages, or did you guys work on that separately?
Greg Shields did most of it from us,
Okay.
and he got the software to be able to do, so I don't know how detailed he got into it, or if they did the way else.
Okay. when it comes to that route, I do have relationships with a lot of booklet printers and stuff like that through work and everything. So I do have,
That's good.
um, so we can always talk with them when we get to that point. So for fundraising or getting the money to pay for some of these things, do we want to put together a letter and reach out to local businesses and see if they're willing to sponsor a portion of the evening or the day?
Certainly could. I know we had talked about trying not to do that just because of other things that we were trying to fundraise for as well. But well, I think whatever we need to cover our costs, we need to do, or whatnot.
Mhm.
So,
What are your thoughts?
I would echo the village president that, we are obviously doing a significant fundraising push, and especially once summer hits, we'll literally be going door knocking. So I don't know, would it be counterintuitive if we send a letter out that's more maybe suggestive, hey, this is coming up, and the splash pad is maybe more, us being proactive about, and whatever monies we get from the letter, that's great, it's offset our costs, but I don't know if that's realistic to one, do, and two, how many people are gonna respond, and what kind of revenues are you gonna generate?
Could you maybe work with like Culver's, Tello's cousins, because they'll do like dine with us and you get 15% donate back to your school? Is that something that could be done? I know TJ school does that a lot where you dine at Culver's and then a certain percentage goes right back to the school.
The only thing I would be concerned about that is we're asking them to donate to the village of Fredonia.
Right.
You
No,
know,
it's kind of the
the
same thing we
optics
ran
on
into
that
when
kind of
we- yeah.
looks a little wonky, maybe.
Hmm.
Any other thoughts on how to come up with a grant? I'm putting you on the spot, Chris.
That's horrible.
Oh, good.
Can we write
We're
that
resorting
out?
to lottery, yeah, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, I work for you, so if you would like me to
I'm,
to go and make that ask, I could do that, but
well,
What, find
I'm
Pablo?
not
just
necessarily
knowing I
asking
follow
to
up
make
3
that
months
ask.
later,
Yeah.
you're not gonna ask them for money.
And
so.
that's, I understand that, so that's where I'm kind of looking for thoughts and any other,
Well, we're gonna try, I
ideas.
mean, we're gonna raise some money on beer sales and things like that too, right? So let's not forget that some of those things are gonna be raised,
Mhm.
recovering costs that way. I don't know what you guys did in beer sales, but I'm sure it was
A
great.
lot more than you think.
Yeah.
So when you think it's gonna be like, I mean, our biggest thing when we first went into this from day one,
Mhm.
our biggest thing is this is not a revenue generating
Right.
event. We break even, or even if it costs us a little, I mean, that's how we were looking at it.
Yeah.
And on Sunday morning, it was, holy cow, this was a lot bigger than we expected.
Yeah.
I mean, from the food sales, from the beer,
Mhm.
and for example, our 100th anniversary shirts that I did, I'm gonna say but I mean, it was really for the 5K, but we ordered extras because we were gonna sell them. We ended up, we were sold out by 12:30 on the shirts.
Mhm.
And we ended up taking orders, and then we'd send things through Facebook, and we put one more order in that was probably 4 times the amount that we sold it originally.
wow.
Just even from a secondary one. And as we get into closer, we can help definitely for, as far as what we went through for food and beer, stuff like that. The beer sales, we were completely out of all of the beer before the toys even started. We were getting rushed
Yeah, you were.
deliveries from Miller. I mean, they came after hours. We got ones from Jen's from Fredonia. I mean, they were just bringing them in because it was like by 7:30, 8 o'clock, we're like, whoa.
We're out of here. Yeah, right, exactly.
Type of thing. I mean, so yeah, you will be better than break even when it comes to that.
Did you talk to a vendor about that? Did you talk to Miller Coors about doing that event and having the stuff delivered, or did you buy it? I can't remember what you ended up doing.
So we went through whatever the distributor was for them. And we kind of put together an idea of how many, and you get the trailer, the the tap trailer.
Yep.
They were able to do that because then we're able to even have extras type of thing in there. As far as how much, that was purely kind of what we were gauging or thinking.
Right.
Type of thing. So luckily it happened early enough that we were able to get an emergency call in.
Right. Right.
On a Saturday. So and I don't have it with me. I should have brought my thing, but I mean we've got everything broken down too that we can help with.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I do think that we'll make quite a bit of money that way off of those type of things. And the craft fair too, it sounds like there's quite a few people that are already interested in that, from what I understand, so.
That's good.
I think we'll have some revenue. I think we'll be surprised at some of the revenue that we'll have.
We can might buy a booth.
Yeah.
And make it here. Who knows? Maybe she'll have some old crafts or something.
Yeah.
Well, she'll be home then. Let's go.
Mhm.
Who would want to buy stuff from? They'll just do it right.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so I will put together some more ideas for Michelle. And I'll send them over to you if you want to reach out to her first and see what she can put up and come up with. And then we can discuss pricing and whatnot, and what that looks like. All right, anything else on fundraising anybody would like to add? All right, so I'd like to move on to advertising. I think at this point, I'm starting to see a lot of events posted on social media for things that are happening this summer as save the dates. So at this point, I think I'd like to get at least a Facebook event created and put out there. We've got a lot of the information already determined, so I don't see why we can't make that happen at this point.
What I would recommend on that, or not recommend, but if you need help also, because I also organized and ran our Facebook page for the 100th type of thing. And what we did purposely was a little at a time. You get it.
Yep.
And then just a little type of thing. And then I tried to do about at least once a month something to kind of generate, because one, it pops right back up, gets and is familiarized because things get very quickly. And then as you get closer, it's like whatever band stuff like that, you can kind of wait on that, but then do kind of a history on them type of thing not only when you introduce or list of what bands it is, as it gets closer, then you can do a thing on them on that type of thing. So
yeah, we can start, to your
it's
point,
just the base.
advertising, oh, there's gonna be a time capsule, this is, all that stuff, and we can start doing that.
Yeah, as soon as you
little drops.
post it, don't everybody just go like it. You gotta comment something under it. Otherwise, it's not gonna make it to the top of those. And tell your friends, don't just like it. Like I did. I always tell them, I'm like, don't just like it. I need you to just comment anything.
Looking
just
forward to
something.
coming.
Exactly.
Or
Because
share
then it
and share
pushes it up.
For sure.
Does anybody want to head that?
I know somebody that's really good at social media advertising.
Got you.
I'll comment.
There you go. Okay, everybody comments.
And I will
First
tell others
post.
to comment, and I can get people to comment.
Yeah.
They listen to me.
All right. Well, we can get that going, and then we can continue talking about the advertising as we get closer, flyers, banners, all of that. All right, the next is the craft fair. We had discussed at our previous meeting that the Friends of Fredonia wanted to handle that. I just wanted to touch base with you, see if there's anything you guys need from us or need from me
No,
on
I
that.
actually
or
went to the
to-
craft fair up at the school last weekend and we grabbed a bunch of cards up there, and then I went to the Beekler Farm and grabbed a bunch of cards there.
Really, you were there?
Maybe, don't tell anybody.
I saw pictures. It's all right.
So we that is something we want to do, and we are having our next meeting next week,
Okay.
Tuesday, so we have not had a meeting since our group meeting.
Okay.
But that is something we want to do.
Okay, and then I forwarded you guys for the group email, what Michelle had put together for us initially.
Okay.
If you wanted to work off of that, great. If you need her help putting something together, I think we can wrangle her help on that as well. I was
Contact the
also,
sourdough lady.
yeah, she
Mm.
should. She's popular.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she would want a booth.
Yeah, I would think so.
I was up at the school as well. I talked to a few of the vendors that I knew and, kind of mentioned that, watch for it because there's one that'll happen with the village. So
Mhm.
they all seem pretty excited about it. So that's good.
Yeah, it was a well put together.
Yeah,
event.
It was nice for sure. Okay, anything else in the craft fair? Basically, if you need something, just holler. We'll
This one.
do whatever we need to do. Next is the dunk tank. So we had talked about at the last meeting, doing the dunk tank. We need to come up with the advertising and everything that goes behind that, how we're gonna have that show of the day. And is there gonna be a corporate sponsor or what, how do we want to handle that? I'm kind of looking for somebody to kind of head that up and take it and run with it. And then start putting feelers out to some of our, higher up officials in the village to see if they'd be willing to. Maybe we can get Trevor and Chief Weicker and everything to jump in the dunk tank for a little bit, but kind of drop the plan of what that
I
looks
thought
like.
Dan
Is
was
it
gonna be in
I'll be there.
150th Speedo.
Oh. I don't know about that, Trevor. I don't think you want that. It's gonna be some nice warm water, right?
Just to get you in the water.
I know.
Well, maybe have you could maybe do an alternate if people aren't gonna wanna go in the dunk tank. I mean, have people do it, but maybe have a pie in the face.
Yeah.
The whipped cream in the
Mhm.
face.
I know the baseball, youth baseball is I know they said dunk tank.
Yeah, they did do it last year.
Yeah.
Maybe they do want to sponsor it. I don't know. Maybe they just want to help out.
Yeah, because we would need somebody to run it, if it's $5 for 3 balls or whatever the case is, to,
I mean, I'll run it. But I feel like $5 to dunk me is kind of.
I mean, it can be whatever we
Yeah,
want.
no, that's fine. I wouldn't mind running something like that, and then I'll get it in at some point. So.
I think it's good people to,
I think
I
there
think
would be
it'd
enough
people to
interest
wanna- yeah,
to want to do it. And maybe it comes to a point where it's like an open hour of, hey, my friend wants to sit in the dunk tank for,
that's
10
just,
minutes.
yes, I
Right.
think I could
You
get
know,
a friend to go sit
yeah.
in
You
that
s-
dunk tank.
Maybe we can
And
schedule
all the
out
buddies
people and then
would.
schedule some time for,
Mhm.
Mhm.
cool.
I'm interested in your next point here.
Train rides.
Mhm.
So we need to make a decision on this one. We had talked at our last 150th meeting about Eric Armstrong, and I know there were some feelings about that. I know we've got the gentleman at.
No, I was thinking that we nixed that, but I'm wrong. It was the golf. That's what I
The
was
golf,
going
yeah. It was huge at the last Fun Before the 4th. I think it could be fun for the kids again. There's a gentleman up at St. John's Church, I think that still does it, but I want to say Bruce said that he wasn't in the best of health.
He's not in the best of health. He's on Wildcats Fire Department.
Didn't his family do it last time? I don't think it was him that was driving the.
Why am I drawing the blank on his name? I can't.
I have it written down somewhere. I have to go back a few months in my book, so.
I mean, I feel like we could at least ask.
Start with the gentleman from the
Yeah.
church.
John,
I'll ask Bruce again tonight. He knows his name. I'll write it down. I'll see if I can get his contact information. Reach
Yeah,
out to him.
let's see. I mean, and if the answer is no, well, we tried and then we resort to something else. But yeah, that was huge last time.
Mhm.
People love that. I do. The last I talked to the Lions, they were still thinking about doing the bag tournament. So
Okay.
I haven't heard from him in a while, so I'll reach out back out to Chris.
Okay. That's kind of on the second page. I went through and just listed out all the events and everything that we have going on,
Mhm.
and what needs to be done with it or what are we
Yeah.
doing. So Cornhole tournament was one of them. Do they need something from us? Are they still planning on running that? And then the other thing we hadn't talked about was bingo,
Mhm.
that we were gonna ask them about.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get on that stuff.
If Lions Club ends up not doing their bag tournament
Mhm.
on that day. So because I talked to Chris early on, originally they were thinking of moving or not moving because it wasn't even scheduled yet, but doing add ours because we're like, we just want to draw people. We don't
Yeah,
need want to run and
right.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. They ended up still doing it at Jen's,
Mhm.
which was Barb's at the time. But if they have a conflict, it is very easy to do because I got a hold of Brad Navis who does it he's the one that runs it
Sure.
through the night. Who's out of Cedar Grove, and it's minimal,
Mhm.
just initial contact, and then he does everything. He just needs one person there, to collect entry fees because you can
Sure.
do it that they just register there beforehand,
Mhm.
and he brings everything. It's very easy to do. So even if Lions have a conflict or they can do it, I would still put it down because it's a good draw
For sure.
Okay.
and it's easy to.
And
Yeah.
you would be interested in heading that
If
up?
you know what, I can definitely work with Brad to even get it all organized and the whole thing. It's
Not that big a deal. You said.
it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to Chris and see, because I know
Right.
it was the same thing. I think Jen's had something close by or whatever.
Right.
So, but
Yeah,
I'll
their
put that on
their
my calendar
normal
too.
tournament, I think, is usually the weekend before.
Right.
So,
I think so.
okay.
Add that to my calendar. Call Chris.
Refreshment responsibilities, wanted to just touch base on this briefly. We had spoken that the Friends of Fredonia might be interested in handling the refreshment responsibilities. If you guys are still good with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So would the refreshments start like right after the parade then?
And how you guys did it, didn't
Yeah, you
you?
guys had
Yeah.
beer flowing right away, right?
Yes. Yeah, even beforehand because of the 5K, people were.
Mhm.
I mean, that's normal.
It
Yeah.
is.
So we had two bartenders from the time the 5K ended.
Okay.
And so, I mean, there's a little lull because of the parade type of thing, but
Mhm.
And any of us and any other volunteers definitely can jump behind the bar for a
Yeah.
short shift.
Oh, I wasn't thinking. That you might not get to start drinking at that
I
time.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't drink, so maybe I should be the one behind the bar.
That's not a bad
serving it,
idea.
so. So then back on the fundraising piece, I think obviously as we get closer to the event, we're gonna know how much income we'll have
Mhm.
had at that point.
Mhm.
And then we can set, okay, in order for us to break even, we need X amount of dollars.
Mhm.
Let's make sure that's raised. And then anything beyond that, I think that's where, we can help the Friends group out in their
Yeah.
fundraising efforts. too.
Right.
All right. And then food, I had spoken with Chief Waker a few months back, and he said that the Fredonia Fire Department would be interested in handling food for the day of. Is that
okay.
still what you guys are thinking?
I'm not confirming, nor did I. No. Yeah, I mean, if it's something that I can bring back to them of what if it's, celebrate Fredonia, we always did the bar and
Sorry.
the different things, and Lions Club did the food type of thing. So in this one, if it's something that we definitely want to be able to participate. So
All right, and then fireworks, you're gonna reach out to the fireworks guy.
I'll take care of that.
Okay.
I'll just note for the board, if our intention is to go to the board and ask to use undesignated fund balance for the fireworks, and then you guys should probably approve a resolution of some sort
Okay.
for that amount and that
Mhm.
effect, since it's outside of our budget.
Yep.
When do we need to do that?
Oh, I'd say the second meeting in April.
That's what I was thinking. Just didn't know if we could do that. Do we need to write up that resolution, or would that be something that you could help with?
Yeah.
Awesome.
don't forget the book Fireman's Park. Also.
Are you guys using it for something?
Just saying, you just gotta,
Those are the things.
those are the
like,
things you
you're
don't thi-
so wrapped up in the
Right,
big
you don't
stuff,
even
don't
think- I mean,
about- yeah.
yeah, I think we reserved it for a week because we weren't exactly when the tent was coming to set up
Mhm.
and also you'll have to get extended hours at the
Yes,
village park.
approvals and
Technically they close.
Good thing about me being me, you can.
it works. Okay.
It's not like there's
so-
anybody in the village that will, know if something isn't,
Yeah. But still.
Yeah, on the up and up.
Mhm.
The second page is just a quick run through of, all the events that are happening the day of. And touching base on where we're at. So cornhole tournament, you're gonna talk with the Lions and confirm. I don't think that's in the
Packet, no.
packet, because
Okay.
I had emailed her this and asked her to print this out for me this afternoon.
Those are the microphones.
Oh,
Yeah.
We know they're on.
Is
Yeah.
that a weird fire alarm that I'm not aware
No,
of?
that
or-
just is,
That's our new normal.
yeah.
Fair enough. Basketball tournament, we had talked about the girls' basketball group putting this on for the day of and updating the courts.
I'll put that on my calendar as well.
I'm gonna send you this tomorrow.
Nope, I got it all. That's all. I'm gonna contact everybody. B-ball. I can say that NOSD had they had 3 basketball hoops. One of them's going to Divine Savior, and we were able to get the other 2. So
Okay.
they're gonna replace the 2 hoops that are at that park.
Okay.
So if we can have our guys do the painting, we had talked about that last time. I mean, the court should be ready
Mhm.
to do whatever, but I will make sure. Date. 5 minutes before we gotta go test microphones.
Yes. Would you be able to reach out to DPW and see about getting them to paint the courts and whatnot?
Do they know about the hoops and stuff?
Yeah, Eric's been in contact with Kent Schiller to get it done.
All right, next is the parade. So we talked about having a parade. Once we kind of get a little bit more planning, I can ask Marshall Leap to come to the one of the next meetings when we're ready, but looking for somebody to kind of take the lead on organizing the parade, reaching out to people to see, if they're interested and, really kind of owning it. Takers.
I won't even know how to start that.
I don't either. I've never done a parade before.
Trevor.
Who organized your guys' parade?
Trevor.
No, I was not technically involved in the parade. I mean, the committee wise, we send out letters to all the organizations and stuff like that to, for people to be in it.
Mhm.
And then we just scheduled volunteers for different things. We had, I think we had 3 or 4 people up at St. John's for check-in
Mhm.
and line up. I mean, that in all honesty, for a parade, that's the long and short of it. I mean, you
Mhm.
work with, with the village and I don't know, it won't be Dable anymore. Well, maybe, maybe, but whatever. Yeah, but I mean,
We got a
for
couple more weeks.
right. Yeah, for some reason keeps but as far as then the route,
Mhm.
and then with DPW or stuff like that for the blocking off of this of the parade route type of thing.
For sure.
And then you just have people up at the start of it just for checking in lineup. So
I mean, when I think of the West Bend Christmas parade, they have on their site, they just have a fillable form that you fill out. And then the person, as those come in, they're just added to the spreadsheet, they're assigned a number,
Mhm.
a category sometimes and things like that. So
Sounds an
I
awful
mean-
like Flag Day.
I don't know if it needs to be that much more complicated,
Mhm.
especially if our
Yeah.
website can just post that form.
For sure.
And we can just compile it on a spreadsheet.
right, and I mean it's usually it's a time to block of if it starts at noon.
Mhm.
You have, line up either by 11:30 or something like that.
Mhm.
And depending on how big it's gonna be of what you have on there and how you wanna direct is, it's not, it's not that difficult. It's not like you've got a set thing that you have to have this person behind this person
Right.
behind this person.
Right.
I mean, with us, it's either fire trucks going first or they going last, and then everyone's in between. So it's not a whole lot. You just kind of go through of who you'd want to have as a grand marshal type of thing. And if you're getting into, like with us, with our chiefs is, we went to Newman Chevrolet, and you can go to dealership to get some cars to be able to take the, the trustees or the village people type of thing. Not literally the village people, but so parade is really not as big of a deal as it's made out. It's pretty
Okay.
easy.
So do you think Michelle could create a wonderful form for us?
She would love to create a
I
form.
know
for
she
us.
likes to create forms. Cool. All right, bingo, we talked about craft fair, you guys are handling the time capsule, it's just something to remember, we can punt that down the road, bounce houses. I do have 3 of them reserved, I have to sign the contract and send it back, so I'll get that done tomorrow. All the bands are booked. I'm working with them on the logistics of the day of, setting up, tearing down, all of that. I shouldn't say bands, 2 bands and the DJ. So I'm working through all those logistics. Whiskey Throttle is going to start advertising that they're gonna be here, so. So that should be good. Fireworks, you're gonna get with the firework company. Train ride, we talked about. Food, we talked about. And beverages, we talked about.
Could you add the historical booklet?
Yes.
And I'd be interested in helping
Excellent.
anybody.
So for everyone, for food wise, you thinking of us handling the whole thing? I mean, as far as selling, I mean, for volunteers, stuff like that, the cooking, the
Yes.
selling, the organizing, the ordering, okay.
We would let you guys.
Almost not.
Got it. Yep.
And if there's something you don't want to do or you need from us, please just holler. Dan would be more than willing to
Add it to my
do
calendar.
anything.
Right. I'll just put it on his calendar.
Can I have access to your calendar?
You don't really want my calendar.
Okay,
All right.
anything else? All right. Correspondence, I don't have any. Items for future consideration, we'll talk about the historical booklet more at the next meeting.
Definitely.
Anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
Real quick on the back, you got deliverables here.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jamie asked me, I can get who we
Use
company that
for-
we did for the tent and
Tent rental?
stage.
Was it equipment
Cor-
rentals?
I don't believe it was, we were with one, then we went to another one at the last minute.
Okay,
But because we have, I mean, because Whiskey Throw probably, do they have minimum stuff for stage?
they're willing to work with us,
Okay,
but yeah,
But yeah.
they will.
so I'll get that. Off the top of my head, I didn't have it, so I'm just waiting for a response. Same thing with, I mean, porta potties and stuff like that. We put that all together and
Mhm.
one thing for rental wise, but, and then with the bands, what, we did too is because of, when you have two different bands,
Mhm.
if they're completely independent, a lot of times the breakdown is long because it's everything.
Yes,
What tell me. Stage and tent ended up being equipment rentals.
Okay.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to.
yeah,
confirm.
Renee got an estimate from them I have here.
Right.
And that's what we did for Fun Before the Four.
Yeah, and it's good to have the same one because they'll do the stage and the tent instead of having two different ones. But with music wise, what we did was we worked with the toys production company so all of their equipment, the first band used All right, and the sound guy actually, it was an extra $500. So that way, all of the equipment was there, so it was literally a half hour
Yes,
at most type of thing. If individual is equipment,
it's gonna take
it's a
longer.
Yeah.
minimum hour
Right.
Yeah.
easy,
Um,
because Whiskey Throttle will have their own sound guy. And a lot of times,
Mhm.
if, who's the other one?
Pretty when she's angry, she's pretty, she's pretty.
Especially when she's angry.
She's pretty flexible. Because I was talking with her about that as well, on how much time she needed to set up and tear down, and she said she could be, it would be pretty simple for her to do.
Okay, is it just
It's
one?
more-
Is she,
Do
It's
you
a
know?
band.
It's a band,
is,
yeah.
oh, okay,
Um, I'm more concerned about the setup for Whiskey Throttle,
Mhm.
is what I think is gonna take the longer portion of it. So I'm gonna probably set up a conference call with the
Production person.
yeah, the owner and Whiskey and Pretty when she's angry, and kind of hash out all those details and figure out who's gonna
Right.
do what and what they need.
because a lot of times the sound manager, or production manager is with, and I'm not sure for Whiskey Throttle, but maybe like a contractor.
Right.
And so the Toy said, yeah, contact, this is our guy.
Mhm.
And when I talked to him, it was, yeah, he can then, I worked it with, by doing that, then I got him in contact, with the first band, just so to be my brother-in-law's band, but, so they worked and it was flawless because the only thing that was, that the Toys, when they came up, the biggest thing was moving the drums.
Mhm.
And I mean, it was instruments.
Yes,
That was the only thing that had to be in and out.
it was
So,
quick.
It was quick. So I mean, if that's an option, sometimes it's worth,
Yeah.
because sometimes too, is that, and I don't know if when she's angry, if they have a sound guy. If they don't, because like my brother-in-law's band does not, so it worked even better because then they
yeah.
didn't have to go and do the testing and test stuff like that. It was all dialed in as they were going.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind when I talk with them. Uh-oh. Yeah. All right. I think that about covers it.
Can I ask about the historical booklet again? Is there somebody that's gonna be in charge of that, or how is that?
I think let's chat a little bit more about that at our next meeting and kind of drum out what that looks like and who wants to head it up and can
I'm
kind of
intrigued by it.
hammer out a few
It's
more of
very
those
interesting.
details.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
History is definitely interesting to me,
Yes.
so.
I'd like to look at the books that we have
Yes.
from
Okay.
I
previous
would like
years
to.
and kind of get an idea of what we're thinking.
I
And
can make a copy of what I have.
Yeah,
That would
let's
be
say if you bring those
fantastic.
materials, that'd be a good starting spot
Mhm.
for us too.
I don't have the booklet you have.
Yeah, it's here in the village. I can find it.
Okay,
Yeah, we have a copy here.
because that would be, for the certainty, that would be good.
for sure.
So, this is.
Perfect.
Does anybody
Awesome.
else need it?
Thank you. All right, looking for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Now, when is the next meeting?
Date for the next meeting. Dan, where's your
Yeah, it's
calendar?
right here. Anytime other than,
The last week of March?
right,
Yes, not that.
I would say right after election day would be good, like the 3rd maybe. That's a Wednesday. Does that work for anybody?
April 3rd?
I would much rather do it then and not right before a board meeting, especially if we're gonna run a little
Yeah.
long.
Behind. Mhm.
So like 6 o'clock on the third,
The 6 o'clock work with everybody? You
On
can make
the
it
3rd?
work?
on April 3rd.
Yep.
April 3rd?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Do you have a motion in a second?
Yep, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned.
Sorry, I didn't mean to rush. We got another meeting that starts in 2 minutes, so.
Well, thank you for letting me join.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.